Alright, so this question says a 12-inch tall right cone whose base has a 10-inch diameter is tipped over and then it's rolled on its side, like it's shown in the picture, until the cone completes one revolution around its apex, or the tip of the cone, tracing that path as shown. So it's asking how many rotations does the base of the cone complete in one such revolution. So we need to express our answer as a common fraction in simplest form. Alright, so basically we're seeing, well, how many total times does this cone go all the way around itself in this whole revolution? Well, first let's just look at what is the length of that entire path. Okay, what's the circumference of this circle that it's rolling around? Well, the radius of this circle that it's rolling around is the lateral edge of this cone right here, but we don't know that. Right, we know the height. We know that the height is 12 inches. We know the height is 12 inches, and we know that the diameter is 10 inches, meaning the radius of this cone is 5 inches. So how do we find the lateral edge right here, which is the radius of that circle? Well, the height is of course perpendicular to the base, and so perpendicular to the radius, meaning if we wanted to find the lateral edge, that's just a right triangle. And luckily for us, we know that 5, 12, 13 is a Pythagorean triple. So if we know the two legs of this triangle are 5 and 12, the hypotenuse must be 13, meaning the radius of this circle is equal to 13. So the entire path around, or the circumference, well, if r is equal to 13, the circumference is 2 pi r, which is equal to 26 pi. Alright, so, well, how does this help us? Well, if we want to know how many times does this cone roll around itself on this length of 26 pi, all we really need to do is first just find, well, the cone rolling around once. How long is that? We can do that by finding the circumference of the base of that cone. So since we know that the radius of that cone is 5 and the diameter is 10, we know the circumference of this cone is equal to 5 times 2 pi, so that's 10 pi, meaning that one rotation around itself is 10 pi. So how many times is it rotating in that big circle with a circumference of 26 pi? Well, it's just going to be 26 pi divided by 10 pi. We're seeing how many times one rotation of 10 pi can go into the entire circumference of 26 pi. So this ends up being 26 over 10 when the pi's cancel out, or in simplest form, we can divide both by 2 to get 13 over 5 is the amount of rotations that base of the cone completes in one revolution across that circle.